when karma becomes zero, then you will be liberated.
So is there a concept of fall down from Vaikuntha?
People are little confused about this aspect, so can they explain a little bit about Shareera Atma Bhava?
That which makes Vishishta-dvaita Vishishtadvaita is the Shareera Atma Bhava.
Since Jeevatma resides in the Hridaya Pradesha, and now we have heart transplants. So during the heart transplant or after the heart transplant, where does the Jeevatma lives?
Or you give them free will and they will decide what to do. Bhagavan chooses the second option always.
The word Gayatri itself is Strilinga. So why women cannot chant Gayatri mantra?
I just don't understand the logic behind that, okay? Namaskaram. Welcome again to this podcast called Svairãlãpam. This is a very unique episode where we will try to answer the questions which have been posted in the comment section of our previous videos, or rather previous video regarding Dvaita, Advaita and Vishishtadvaita. There were so many questions that I personally could not select a few from them. So I delegated that job to Sri Madhav Ramanujadas and Raghunath Ramanujadas. So they have selected some questions that I'll try to answer today. So let's begin.
Adi Ramanujadas.
Adi and Ramanujadas.
So we would be asking some questions which are most frequently asked in the comment section. One of the questions that most of the people are confused about is regarding the creation of Jeevatma. When was the creation started? And did Bhagavan create the Jeevatma? Did he create the karma?
Okay. Yeah, I too have seen that there were many questions regarding the first creation rather. So let me make it clear that in most of our sampradayas, we consider samsara to be anadi. We consider Jeevatma to be nitya. So, who doesn't have any beginning nor end? He is called a nitya. So, Jeevatma was never created by Bhagavan. Okay. You have many verses, like in Upanishads you have Najayate mriyate va vipaschit. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Najayate mriyate va kadachit, nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah. And if you look at the Brahma Sutras, you have a sutra which says, Natma shruter nityatvacha tabhyah. So, going by these pramanas, you can understand that Jiva is also nitya, that is eternal. He has no beginning nor end. Okay. So if Jeevatma doesn't have a beginning and end, his karma, it also doesn't have a beginning or end. You must understand that there is not a single karma which doesn't have a beginning or end, but rather the cycle of karma. Someone does a karma, he takes birth somewhere, he again accumulates some karma, and he takes birth somewhere. So this cycle, it has been going on for eternity. Okay. It will end at some point of time with Bhagavan's grace, but it has been going on from Anadikal. So that is our concept. I had explained this even in the video that Bhagavan, Jeevatma and non-sentient things, that is Prakriti, all these are Nitya. All these are Nitya, but there is slight difference in the Nityatva of these three things.
If everything is Nitya, then what is the creation done by Bhagavan?
Yes, again, this was also answered before in that video. See, I said a potter creates a pot. He doesn't create the clay. Even then, he is called the creator of the pot. Okay. Similarly, Bhagavan doesn't literally create Jeevatma, nor does he literally create Prakriti. But what he does is, he changes the form of Prakriti into many things that we are looking at today. So, Prakriti undergoes change due to Bhagavan's Sankalpa. That is his creation. Similarly, this Jeevatma during Pralaya is in a state where he cannot think for himself and where he cannot do anything. Bhagavan changes that state of Jeevatma. He gives him organs and a body so that the Jeevatma now can think for himself and act accordingly. So the state of that particular Jeevatma has been changed. Similarly, the state in which the Prakriti was, it was changed. So this is what creation is. In Vishishtadvaita, we say that there is no substance which suddenly appears from somewhere. No. A substance will undergo change. So when there is cotton, the cotton undergoes change and it becomes thread. And then it undergoes change and it becomes, and when they are combined, they become vastra, that is a cloth. And so the particle changed. Even if you burn this, it will become ash. It will become something else. But there is no concept of Niranvaya Vinash. Niranvaya Vinash means it just vanishes. We don't have that concept in sampradaya. So this is Bhagavan's creation. All three are Nitya, but the change that Chetan and Achetan undergo are caused by Bhagavan. Okay, that is creation. That's all.
I mean, in the creation...
And let me tell one thing. See, these are not things that we are just coming up with now. Ramanujacharya in his works has mentioned samsara to be anadi. And even in Brahma Sutra we see that Jeevatma is considered to be anadi, and hence the karma pravaha will also be anadi. And even Shankaracharya has told that samsara is anadi. I can show you verses from Shankara Bhashya. So most of the acharyas have agreed upon samsara being anadi, Jeevatma being anadi. Okay.
So in the creation, why there are differences? Someone is born rich, someone poor, someone is male, female, someone is born in Australia, some in other places.
Yes. So basically there are many differences. Again, the problem with the first creation concept is that when Bhagavan first created someone, he must have created everyone similarly. If that's not the case, what will happen? Each one was given different bodies. Okay. What is the cause of that difference? Bhagavan cannot say karma because it is the first creation. So if there is no difference in any way, then everyone would be accumulating the same amount of karma going on in their life or in their lifetime. So where does the difference start? There is this question. So most of the sampradayas answer this by saying that samsara is anadi. So there was not one time when Bhagavan suddenly created all. So this is being going on from the, we cannot say beginning, from anadikal. That's all. So my answer is, in this creation, Bhagavan will look at what you have accumulated in your previous janmas and give a Shareera body accordingly. So there is no time when Bhagavan doesn't have a previous creation from where he can look at your karma. Okay, so he created once, he then destroyed it, he then creates, he then destroys, and this cycle has been happening forever.
So when Bhagavan destroys the creation, what happens to the karma of the Jeevatma?
See, karma is always present. I was speaking about that sutra, na karma abhibhaga diti chenna anaditva rupapadyate cha pipalabhyate cha. In that Brahma Sutra, the same question has been asked, and it has been told that even during the destruction of this world, karma remains. Karma is not destroyed, And karma is not something like it is there somewhere. Okay, karma is there in Bhagavan's memory. Okay, so Bhagavan remembers what you have done. So even when destruction happens, Bhagavan is there. He remembers what you did in the previous janma. Even you are present. You are present in a very minute state, sukshma sthiti. Okay, and Prakriti is in the form of Mula Prakriti. Okay, this is during the destruction, Pralaya Kala. And when creation happens, Bhagavan remembers, of course he'll remember, he doesn't forget. So Bhagavan will allot bodies, situations and much more according to their karma, previous karma.
By this, can we say that in every destruction, for example in Pralaya Kala, the karma will not become zero and it will not start from...
Yeah. When karma becomes zero, then you will be liberated. So even during destruction, your karma will remain. Yes.
Swami, it's very difficult to comprehend that there is something which is anadi. So there is a person in the comment section asking that we can define the term anadi as that for which beginning is not known. Agyata adi.
Yeah. So there are some people who explain anadi as Ajnata Adi, which means whose beginning is unknown. They are not saying beginningless, rather they are saying whose beginning is unknown. Okay, there are some people who say, I had explained before that if there is one point of time where Bhagavan created, then where did the difference start? There is this question. Some may answer it in different ways, but usually the answer is by telling that it is anadi, beginningless.
So is there a concept of fall down from Vaikuntham?
No, not in Srivaishnava Sampradaya. Not in Srivaishnava Sampradaya. We do not have any concept of people falling down. No. Because if they fell down, then why did they fall down? Because there are some people still in Vaikuntha. Like we agree upon Nitya Suris and all, who are in Vaikuntha always doing service to Bhagavan. So then the question will arise, why haven't they fallen and we have fallen? We cannot say karma, because in Vaikuntha you won't have karma. So we do not agree upon that. And if you ask, so why Nitya Suris are Nitya Suris? Why we are Samsaris? So we say that this is the nature of the world, the universe, or whatever you call it. So we can even ask, why Bhagavan is Bhagavan, I am not Bhagavan. Okay. But Bhagavan is Bhagavan from Anadikal. Jeevatma is Jeevatma from Anadikal. In Jeevatma there are some Nitya Suris who have always been Nitya Suris. And again we are Samsari Jivas, but we have the ability to become same as Nitya Suris. Of course we cannot bring back time, but what position they hold now, we can achieve that position. Though we are not doing that from eternity, we can achieve that position. Yes.
Since we spoke about liberation, Swami, so what is meant by liberation? And what happens to this Jeevatma after liberation?
See, when you say liberation is from something. Okay. Some may be liberated from a jail. That is also liberation for him. So you must be more clear about what we call liberation here. Okay. Usually all our sampradayas are looking at liberation from samsara. Now the cycle of birth which we are in, we must liberate from that cycle of birth. That is the main intent of most of the sampradayas. So liberation is liberation from samsara. How do you liberate? What happens will change according to each sampradaya. Like if you take Srivaishnava Sampradaya, it is Ramanujacharya Sampradaya, liberation is nothing but liberating from this samsara. You are liberated from all your past karma. You attain a certain place. You attain a certain place which is called Paramapada or Vaikuntha, and there you are blissful. You become omniscient, that is, you know everything, and you are there in service of Bhagavan for eternity. So this is the liberation according to Sri Ramanuja Sampradaya. Usually Madhva Sampradaya will also be almost similar. Okay, there is Ananda Taratamyam there in Madhva Sampradaya, where there is slight differences in the pleasure of the liberated people. But usually the Jeevatma going to Vaikuntha and serving Bhagavan, in this regard both are same. So in Advaita Sampradaya it's more complicated. Like the Brahma is always in liberated state. You must just realize that, and this samsara will slowly dissolve. Then there is nothing. Actually there was nothing before also. You must realize that. So it is kind of complicated, but that is what liberation is. So liberation changes according to each sampradaya. It depends upon what their understanding of reality is. According to that, the concept of liberation, the ways to liberation will all change.
As per Vishishtadvaita Sampradaya, a person will get liberated and he will reach one place called Vaikuntha, and then he will be doing eternal service to Bhagavan. That's it, Swami?
See, I explained one kind of liberation. We in Ramanuja Sampradaya say that there are two kinds of liberation. Both are liberating from samsara, but there are some people who after getting liberated from samsara are just enjoying themselves. So the Jeevatma is also blissful, so they will be enjoying themselves. Usually in Sri Sampradaya it is said Kaivalya Moksha. Okay, Atma Bhava it is called. And then you have others who want to reach Bhagavan. They also reach Paramapada, and there they don't indulge in enjoying one's own self, but rather in enjoying Bhagavan, and they take pleasure in doing service to Bhagavan. Yes. So there are two kinds of liberation we can say in Sampradaya.
One more question, Swami. So how can a non-brahmana, someone asked in the comment box, that how can a non-brahmana get liberated from this?
In Srivaishnava Sampradaya, we say that sharanagathi, that is surrender, is the best way to attain Bhagavan. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. So he proposes sharanagathi in Bhagavad Gita. So sharanagathi is the most important way, and everyone can perform sharanagathi. There are no barriers, and you can find references to these ideas in texts as old as 1000 years old. Okay, it's not like now after looking at all these concepts like equality and all, we have slightly modified our sampradaya. No, like there is a disciple of Ramanujacharya who is called Dayapala Muni. Okay, he writes in his text, Kulam onnu. There is only one Kula. So everyone is a servant to Bhagavan, and so everyone can try to attain the eternal service through sharanagathi, surrender. So being a Brahmin, non-brahmin, it doesn't matter.
Another question is there, Swami. If Shastra says Jnanan Moksha, then what is the need of sharanagathi?
Yeah, very nice question. Was it asked in the comment section? Oh, nice. See, Jnanan Moksha. This is something most sampradayas agree upon. Jnanan Moksha. People, when they think about sharanagathi, they feel that it is something else, like going and falling at Bhagavan's feet or something else. No, actually sharanagathi is also a type of jnana. We say adhyavasayatmaka jnana. That is the confidence in Bhagavan, or it is that knowledge that Bhagavan will, through his grace, give us liberation. So it is also a form of knowledge. Even in some of our texts, it is said that Jnanan mokshamagayale manasamaha kadavad. See, surrender can be done by three ways. See, I can just come and tell to Bhagavan, I am surrendering onto you. Okay, that is one way of expressing that. There is another way. I can just go and catch Bhagavan's feet. Like we have a murti, we can catch hold of Bhagavan's feet. That is one way of doing surrender, sharanagathi. But Acharya say these are not the most important. But the thought that Bhagavan will take care of us is that which will liberate us. So sharanagathi is not knowledge. That is wrong. Sharanagathi is also a type of knowledge. The knowledge that Bhagavan will surely help us is called sharanagathi. That's all. I am not able to liberate myself. Are Bhagavan, you are the only one who can do that. This form of thought, this form of knowledge is called sharanagathi. Ahamasmi aparadhana malayah akinchanaha agatihi tvameva upaya bhuto me bhaveti prarthanamatihi sharanagatihi. I am full of many sins. I have nothing that I can show through which I can attain liberation. I have no other place to go. You are the only person who can liberate me from this samsara. Tvameva upaya bhuto me bhava. You must become the upaya, the path or the tool which will provide me liberation. And this kind of prarthana matihi. Matihi means jnana. Okay, this kind of prarthanatmaka jnana. We think about Bhagavan, we think about it as, Are Bhagavan, you need to help us. So it is kind of mixed. A prayer, but that is in our thoughts. That is called sharanagathi. So there is no, virodha, contradiction between jnanan moksha, sharanagati se moksha. Okay? Because jnanan moksha is common to many sampradayas. Each one has their own definition of what that jnana is. So we say prarthana mati, that is jnana is sharanagati. So there is no contradiction to that.
Someone wants to know what's the difference between Srivaishnava Sampradayam and Vishishta-dvaita Sampradayam.
Yeah, actually, yes, it needs some explanation. Vaishnava Sampradaya is that which has Vishnu as the supreme deity. Okay, Vishnu is considered to be Paramatma. That Sampradaya is called Vaishnava Sampradaya. Okay, now coming to Vishishtadvaita, it is a Siddhanta. You can understand that to be an explanation of reality. Okay, like when we were talking about Vishishtadvaita, we said that Bhagavan is the Atma of everything else. So that is what is Vishishtadvaita. So Vishishtadvaita is trying to explain reality, explain the relationship between the world and Paramatma. So this is what Vishishtadvaita is doing. It is a philosophy or theory. I am not very good with these English words, and using English words, it doesn't give the exact sense that a word like Siddhanta or Sampradaya gives.
Philosophy or darshana.
Yes, so there are differences, but we try to use that word which is the closest so that people can understand. We can start talking in Sanskritam, okay? We can do that, but it won't be reaching many people. That's why we are trying to speak in English. So there are some words which we will try use. Hope they are explaining. Okay, so Vishishtadvaita is a philosophy which is trying to explain reality, the relationship between the world and Paramatma and all. It is not exactly, the Vishishtadvaita word doesn't have anything to do with Vishnu. Okay, it is not deity specific. But coming to Srivaishnava Sampradaya, it is deity specific. Vishnu, the word Vaishnava itself comes from Vishnu. Those who are related to Vishnu are Vaishnava. What is that relation is a different issue altogether. But that is Vaishnava and this is Vishishtadvaita. But sometimes we use, okay, so this is Vaishnava and Vishishtadvaita. In Vaishnava Sampradayas, that Sampradaya which was propagated by Ramanujacharya is usually called Shri Sampradaya or Shri Vaishnava Sampradaya or Ramanuja Sampradaya. So Vaishnava Sampradaya and Vishishtadvaita, both of these come together in Ramanuja Sampradaya. Ramanujacharya was one of the first persons to propagate Vishishtadvaita in that level. Of course, everyone before, according to Srivaishnava Sampradaya, even Vedavyas, everyone propagated Vishishtadvaita, but Ramanujacharya propagated it in a very massive way. So, since Vishishtadvaita Sampradaya was propagated by Ramanujacharya, sometimes Ramanuja Sampradaya is also told to be Vishishtadvaita Sampradaya. So when we say in Vishishtadvaita, we will go and attain Vaikuntha. If we say so, we must understand that we are not speaking about the philosophy of Vishishtadvaita, but the Sampradaya, Ramanuja Sampradaya, Srivaishnava Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya. Okay? So those terms are interchangeably used, Vishishtadvaita and Ramanuja Sampradaya, sometimes. I do that regularly, so that happens. And also regarding Vishishtadvaita, there are some people who have the philosophy of Vishishtadvaita, but the deity is different. Like you have Shaiva Vishishtadvaita, and maybe there is also Shakta Vishishtadvaita, not very sure, but we know Shaiva Vishishtadvaita and all, where Vishishtadvaita philosophy is used, but the deity is Shiva. Okay, so you have many, but since Ramanujacharya propagated this in the beginning, so that word Vishishtadvaita has been used by me and many others to denote Ramanuja Sampradaya. And that's why when you talk about Shaiva Vishishtadvaita and all, they don't say Vishishtadvaita without the word Shaiva, because it is kind of confusing. So usually it is said Shaiva Vishishtadvaita or Shiva Vishishtadvaita and all.
Swami, did Ramanujacharya Swami use the term Vishishtadvaita in any of his works? Swami?
No. According to my knowledge, no. I haven't seen Ramanujacharya using the term Vishishtadvaita in his texts. But Shuta Prakashikacharya, he is the commentator of Shri Bhashya. So he was after Ramanujacharya, maybe some 50 to 100 years after Ramanujacharya. So he has written in his commentaries. He has written commentaries for Shri Bhashya and also Vedartha Sangraha, another text of Ramanujacharya. According to what I remember, it is in that text, that commentary of Vedartha Sangraha, where he uses this word Vishishtadvaita. So he has used that there. Some people argue that Ramanujacharya never used the word Vishishtadvaita. See, it doesn't matter. Ramanujacharya, though he did not use the word Vishishtadvaita, has propagated this Siddhanta. Now we must see whether this word is the right word to denote what he has used. And I think there is no better judge than Shuddha Prakashikacharya. His work is such an immense work, and it has been glorified by not only our acharyas but also other Siddhanta acharyas. So Shuddha Prakashika is a very great work. That acharya has used that word, and it has been subsequently used by many acharyas. So Ramanujacharya using that or not using that doesn't matter. Okay. Has he propagated a sampradaya which can be denoted by that word? Yes, sure.
So Swami, before Shuddha Prakashikacharya, from Bodhayan to Yamunacharya, in what name this sampradaya, this philosophy was addressed?
See, some people believe that this was called Paramavaidika Sampradaya. There are some acharyas who say so. This was called Paramavaidika Sampradaya. And after the advent of Ramanujacharya, it started to be called as Ramanuja Sampradaya. So, never was this called to be Vishishtadvaita Sampradaya. We use that to, make people understand, that's all. But usually the Sampradaya's name it is called Paramavedika Siddhanta or Paramavedika Sampradaya. And after the advent of Ramanujacharya, it was named as Ramanuja Sampradaya. In Tamil we say Embiramanar Darishanam. So that is a thing. And again, maybe they were using the word Vishishtadvaita. Even Ramanujacharya could have used that word in his daily conversations. But maybe there was no need to put that in his texts. Okay, we do not know who coined that term. It may be from the rishis also. Where it was used, and in those texts that I have seen, that is there. Maybe it was used by others in other texts. which are not available now. Okay, so we cannot always surely say that this was the first text. There may be a text which may be found later in which there will be the word Vishishta-dvaita, and so again this is a very small thing.
So should we not say Vishishta-dvaita instead of saying Vishishta-advaita?
Yeah, again a comment, right?
Yeah.
Question. See, people are asking this because they believe that in Vishishta-dvaita Siddhanta, we are saying that there is a difference between all three, tattvas. That is Chit, Achit, Ishwar. Chetan, Achetan, Ishwar. See, the word Vishishta must be considered here. What is Vishishta? That which is combined is called Vishishta. Now see, combined they are one. If you look at them separately, there will be difference. They will be different, there will be difference. When you look at them combined, then they are one. Okay, so where you must look at the word Vishishta, combined Advait, it is one. Separately they will be different, but combined they will be one. So Bhagavan is along with his Shareera, that is Chetan and Achetan. Okay, Chetana Chetana Vishishta Brahma. वो एक ही है ना, it is only one, no? So Vishishta Advaita. If you say Vishishtadvaita, then what will happen is the combined Brahma is more than one. So you have one Paramatma and another Paramatma which is combined with Jagat. So it is very wrong. So Vishishta, combined Bhagavan is one. Combined with Chetan and Achetan, Bhagavan is one. So the whole entity can be considered to be one. That doesn't mean that there is no difference. That I had previously explained, like your body has many parts to it. But seeing it as one body, it is one. Is there differences in the body? Yes, there are hands, there are legs, you have an eye, you have eyes, you have a nose. So there are different parts, but they all combine to become one body. Similarly, Chetan, Achetan, Ishwar, they are all combining to become one tattva, which we call Chetana Chetana Vishishta Brahma. That is only one. If you say Vishishtasya Dvaitam or Vishishtayoho Dvaitam or Vishishtanam Dvaitam, there are many combined Paramatmas. So that is not right.
So as Devarid had said, the word Visishta itself means they are more than one.
Yes. Because when we use the word combined, there cannot be one substance and it can be combined. No? So Vishishta means Vishishta with something. Guna Vishishta or Dravya Vishishta. So it must be combined with something, no? Joined with something. So by using the word Vishishta, we have denoted that there is difference. And as an entity, we can look at it as one. That's all. I think we have explained that more in the previous video.
Swami, in our sampradayam, we generally stress upon Shareera Atma Bhava Sambandham. People are little confused about this aspect, so can they explain a little bit about Shareera Atma Bhava?
That which makes Vishishtadvaita is the Shareera Atma Bhava. Okay. I think there were some people who were asking what is the difference between Dvaita Sampradaya and Vishishtadvaita Sampradaya. In Vishishtadvaita Sampradaya, that is Ramanujacharya Sampradaya, we say that even the Jeevatmas are Shareera of Bhagavan. In Madhva Sampradaya, I believe there is Bimba Pratibimba Vada. Okay, they are like reflections of Bhagavan, something like that in their Sampradaya. So there is this difference. So they may consider everything to be Shareera, but Jeevatma is not exactly Shareera. Okay, but for us, even Jeevatma is body of Bhagavan, Shareera of Bhagavan. Okay, now let's understand what Shareera Atma Bhava is. This word Shareera Atma Bhava means the relationship between body and a soul. Usually there are many relationships in this world. Like we have a relationship between us and our parents. So there is a relationship between me and my father, which can be called Pitraputra Sambandha, Matraputra Sambandha, and so on. There will be many relationships. Even, there is my phone. This phone is mine. That is, it is my property. Like, so there is a relationship between that phone and me that is called Swaswami Bhava. I am its Swami, that is owner, it is my property. So there are many relationships. So what is the relationship between Bhagavan and the Jagat? I mean this world which consists of Chetan and Achetan. So one of the most important relationship is that it is the body of Paramatma, Shareera of Paramatma. Like Upanishad says, Yasya Atma Shareeram, Yasya Prithvi Shareeram. So be it Chetan or Achetan, all are Bhagavan's Shareera, that is body. So this relationship between body and soul is called Shareera Atma Bhava. Like we saw Pitra Putra Sambandha, Swa Swami Bhava Sambandha. Similarly, Shareera Atma Bhava Sambandha, the relationship between a body and a soul. Now, what is a body and what is a soul? Usually, there is a very long definition given by Ramanujacharya in his Vedartha Sangraha as well as Shri Bhashya. But let's not get into that. There is another small definition given by other acharyas, which basically means who resides in a particular object and controls that object. Like Jeevatma is residing in this body and it is controlling this body to an extent. Okay? So the one who is residing inside and controlling can be called Atma. This is a very basic definition, and there will be some more, correction that you have to do. Usually, in Shastras, you will see that they will give a basic definition, and they will ask more questions and correct that definition. Parishkar, they say. So there are many parishkaras that we have to do to this small definition, but to understand. For a layman to understand, he can understand that which resides inside and controls is called Atma. And that which is being controlled is called Shareera. So I am the Jeevatma. I decide and I control. I am now deciding to speak. I am able to speak. I want to, move my hands in a particular way, and I am able to do that. So I am able to control my body to an extent. So I am Atma and this is my body. If you take Paramatma, he is residing everywhere. He is omnipresent, right? So he is residing everywhere and he has the ability to control everything. So he is residing inside and controlling everything. Has the ability to control. How much he controls is a different topic altogether. So Paramatma becomes the Atma for all. And everything else becomes his Shareera. So usually it is said that every substance other than Paramatma is the body of Paramatma. I am using the word substance. You can understand that as object. You have qualities. Usually qualities do not become bodies. Okay, any object can become body. So every object in this universe is the body of Paramatma.
So Bhagavan is residing in every Jeevatma. And we are seeing Bhagavan in every temple as well. For example, we are seeing Sri Ranganatha, we are seeing Thiruvenkadamudiyan, we are seeing Varadaraja Perumal. So what is the difference between this stage of Bhagavan and that stage of Bhagavan?
See, everything is Bhagavan's body. But there are specific rules regarding worship of Bhagavan. Only some bodies of Bhagavan are worshipped. Not all. See, Bhagavan has taken many avatars. But in sampradaya, we don't worship all avatars. Like in Srivaishnava sampradaya, we don't worship Buddha. Buddha is also considered to be Bhagavan's avatar. And there was this question someone asked me. When I met them, they asked me, in one of our videos, we spoke about Buddha being, avatar of Bhagavan. Which Buddha? So, he who is called Gautama Buddha, was he Bhagavan's avatar or someone else? Usually the opinion is that there was another Buddha who was way before this Gautama Buddha, who is considered to be Bhagavan's avatar. And some people regard this Buddha also to be Vishnu's avatar, but usually that Buddha is different. Okay, this must be clarified. So Bhagavan takes many avatars, but we don't worship all the avatars of Bhagavan. See, that is Bhagavan himself taking avatara. Even there we have some restrictions. Similarly, coming to this world, even this wall is Bhagavan's Shareera. But there are specific Shareeras which Bhagavan considers to be his Divya Mangala Vigraha, which Bhagavan considers to be worshipable. Okay, so accordingly we worship Bhagavan. So usually it is said everything is Bhagavan's Shareera. These are all called Sadharana Vigrahas. They are common. See, I have a body. Is this body not the body of Paramatma? Yes, of course it is. But it is also a body of me. So Bhagavan with his free will has given me free will to control this body. Okay. So this is common to him and me, according to his sankalpa. But those idols or vigrahas, you must say, those vigrahas are considered to be Bhagavan's asadharana vigraha. You can consider that to be special. Bhagavan has some special consideration towards those idols, those murtis, which are being worshipped. So there is some restriction in what we can worship, what we cannot worship.
What's the difference between the Swarupam of Bhagavan as a Divyatma Swarupam and the Vigraham of Bhagavan?
Yes. See, you are asking about what is the Swarupa and what is the Vigraha. What is the difference?
How can we define this word Swarupam?
See, whom we call Bhagavan is Bhagavat Swarupa. You must not look at it as Bhagavan is different, Bhagavan's Swarupam is different. No. What we call Bhagavan is Bhagavat Swarup. Usually it is used in Shastras in this way. So Swarup, Ghata Swarup. Ghata Swarupam is nothing but Ghataha, the pot. See, similarly, Bhagavan's Swarup is nothing but Bhagavan. That Bhagavan is present everywhere. He is present everywhere. He is the one who is Sarvagnya, that is omniscient. He is present everywhere. He is omniscient. He is Jnanamay, Anandamay. We say all these things. That is all regarding Bhagavat Swarup. That is Bhagavan. He is there everywhere. Can you see him? No. You cannot see him. He is not Chakshur Grahya. You cannot look at him, or you can know him through sense organs. Okay, that is Bhagavan. That Bhagavan possesses some forms here and there. Possesses some, special forms here and there. Like in Vaikuntha, he'll have a special form. He'll have many forms, out of which one will be the Vaikunthanatha. That is a form this omnipresent Bhagavan possesses. Okay. He will also possess a form in the Milky Ocean, Kshetrabdhi. He will also possess a form when he comes as Rama or Krishna. So Bhagavan is one. He is there everywhere. He is the one who is having knowledge. He possesses forms here and there. Okay. So those forms are called Vigraha. Now see, there are some instances where we see in the Puranas that there is a Rishi, he has now possessed many forms, many bodies. Saubhari. He took 50 forms, they say. Now see, who decides? Does each body has a will of its own? No. There is only one person who is controlling all those bodies. Okay. Similarly, Paramatma is one who is present everywhere, who is the knowledgeable one, who takes the decisions, everything. But he takes many forms in many places. Okay. So that is the difference between Bhagavat Swarup and Bhagavan's Vigraha. So this must be understood. When we say that Bhagavan is there everywhere, sometimes people understand that if you go on inside this particle, maybe you will find an atom or something else. If you go inside, you will find Bhagavan with the Shankha Chakra and all. No, that is not we say. Bhagavat Swarup is Jnanamaya Swarup, which is there everywhere. And that is called Svarupa Vyapti. It is there everywhere. And Vigraha Vyapti, it is said, in those devotees' hearts, in the hearts of those devotees who are very much devoted, Bhagavan comes with a form. That is called Vigraha Vyapti. So you can find him, you will find him with a Shankha Chakra and all in a real devotee's heart. Like everyone must have seen a picture where Hanuman tears his heart and shows Rama there, So similarly, in devotees' hearts, Bhagavan comes with a body, that is a form. So when you look at Bhagavat Swarupa, you can tell that it is not, you cannot know it through your sense organs. So maybe it can be called formless. But he possesses many bodies here and there. And of course, everything is his normal Sadharana Vigraha, and he has Asadharana Vigraha, special bodies in many places. And in our sampradaya, we consider Ranganatha Bhagavan. We have Ranganatha Bhagavan, we are speaking from Srirangam. So in Ranganatha Bhagavan is a Asadharana Vigraha of Bhagavan. And the words manifestation and all, they are also not very, specific. So when we say Bhagavan manifests as Ranganatha, it will mean that Bhagavan is not somewhere else. So Bhagavan is everywhere. He also possesses some particles as his Asadharana Vigraha. This must be understood in this way.
So when we say Bhagavan takes avatara, he descends. So if Bhagavan is having Sarva Vyapti, what is the meaning of he descends?
Descent can be understood in two ways. See, Bhagavan is such a great person. He need not mingle with beings like us. So descent can be understood in nature. Like that person who is mingling with Nitya Suris, Adishesha, Garuda and all, that person descends to come to us. So it must not be taken in a literal sense, but rather slightly different. Oh, so he is descending, but not in a physical manner, but in a, in a more figurative way. So usually a rich person does not mingle with a poor person usually. When a rich person mingles with a poor person, we say, he has come down. Don't we say that? Similarly, you can look at the avatara. And also you can also see that sometimes, the Kshirabdhi, the Divyamangala Vigraha or the body that Bhagavan has in Kshirabdhi is called Avatara Kand. So out of that form, Bhagavan creates this form and comes. So usually Kshirabdhi is considered to be a upper loka, Urdhva loka. Even the Urdhva loka is not in literal sense, but that which is greater than this loka. So Bhagavan is taking that form from a higher loka to a lower loka. So that is also one explanation that can be given. So he is mingling with people lower than him. He takes his form that is in a upper loka, and out of that he creates a form which comes to a lower loka. Okay, that is what avatara is. Avatara is descent. Yes.
Swami, if Bhagavan is having Sarva Vyapati, like Bhagavan came as Narasimha, he simply appeared. So as Rama and Krishna also, he can simply appear. What is the need of coming from Kshirabdhi?
See, Bhagavan can do anything, but he does that in this way. Even in Narasimha Avatara, if you ask our acharyas, they will say that he from Kshirabdhi came here. It's not like he came from there as Narasimha, he came down and he entered the pillar, he came out. That's not way. It is in some way that there is some relationship to this divine form, and that the divine form, there is something.
There are verses which say Angushta Matra Purushaha. So how can we understand that, Swami? For Swarupa Vyapti, I think, how can we...
So your question is, Bhagavan is there everywhere. So how can he called to be in the size of the thumb? That's your question, right?
That will not be related to Swarupa Vyapti anyhow, Swami. Is that related to Vigraha Vyapti only?
Yeah, you have answered that. That's all. So in those Upasaka's heart, Bhagavan resides in the, size of his thumb. That's all, Angushta Matra Purusha. So it is regarding Vigraha Vyapti, they say. And it is also sometimes said that, Bhagavan resides in a Jeevatma who resides in a heart. So the heart's size is usually, almost as like a fist or slightly bigger. So that size of the heart is used to denote Bhagavan. That's also one expression that I have read somewhere.
Swami, since you mentioned here regarding the heart, again remembers a question. Since Jeevatma resides in the Hridaya Pradesham, and now we have heart transplants. So during the heart transplant or after the heart transplant, where does the Jeevatma lives?
We can just speculate about this. See, when we say that the Jeevatma is residing in the Hridaya Pradesha, it is like he is residing in the center of this body. So maybe when the heart is being transplanted, he will still be there. It's not like he is sticking onto that heart or something. He is a very different kind of particle, Jeevatma. He is not, matter as we know. So he will be residing there maybe. And so the heart coming out or new heart coming won't affect his residing there. I also remember another question here. See, someone asked, if Paramatma is there everywhere, then there cannot be other particles. Because if there is a particle, it will obstruct Paramatma. Okay? So if Paramatma is everywhere, there can be no other particle. If there are other substances, objects, then Paramatma cannot be everywhere. So this was the question.
Paramatma will be limited.
Paramatma will be limited. Yes. There was this question. So you must understand, maybe I have answered that in the comment section also. See, like there are some things in this world which can reside in the same exact place. Like, you see, you have glass. Through that glass, light travels. Okay? Light travels through that glass. Does the glass obstruct light? No, it doesn't obstruct light. Similarly, Bhagavan is Jnanamaya, who is never obstructed by any particle, any object. So, in that same space where you are residing, Bhagavan can also reside. In the same exact space. Okay? So, Bhagavan is not obstructed by any object. This is his Vyapti itself.
Swami, what is the meaning of free will, Swami, of a Jeevatma?
Free will of Jeevatma, the ability to take decisions on his own. Maybe that is free will. Okay? There is a lot of discussion regarding what free will is. Even in the circles of, Eastern philosophers, like Indian philosophers, and also in Western philosophers, you will find a lot of discussion regarding what free will is. But, the ability to take decisions on his own. That is one. And again, won't he be influenced by his previous karmas? Won't he be influenced by Bhagavan? This is a very big question. I think a karma theory podcast was, promised before. It will be coming soon. We'll address all this in that podcast.
There is a connected question to that, Swami. If Jeevatma is having free will, that means future is uncertain. So does Bhagavan knows the future? If not, his Gayatri is Vaditam.
Maybe we can answer this question in that podcast, Karma Theory podcast.
Sure.
Yes.
I have some things to say. Maybe we'll do that in that podcast. Yes.
There is another very interesting question there. That Bhagavan creates Jeevatma out of his Karuna. And also Brahma Sutra tells it is a Krida or Leela for Bhagavan. So isn't there a contradiction? Also, Bhagavan is creating out of his karuna, the result is something else. Isn't it like a mad scientist creating something?
Was it the question in the comment section?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
It is something like that.
Okay. Something similar to what you are asking. Okay, right. See, first question is it Karuna or Leela? What I said is Karuna. And in Brahma Sutras and in many other verses of Shastras, it is said that it is Krida. Lokavattu Leela Kaivalyam. This is the Brahma Sutra, right? So, the answer given by our Acharyas is that Bhagavan, through his compassion, creates this world. I mean, creation, I have explained what creation is. Even while you were asking, you were telling creation of Jeevatmas, like he is not creating new Jeevatmas, he is giving them bodies, right? So now they have some karma done in the previous creation. So according to that, now he is creating. See, you must understand that in Pralaya Kala, in the time of destruction, the Jeevatmas are devoid of any kind of knowledge. They are in such a pitiable state that Bhagavan takes pity upon them. Upon compassion, he gives them an opportunity, okay, to come attain him. So Bhagavan, he completely knows that while he is giving them free will and while he is creating, there is an option of them not coming to him. But it is according to his free will that he is giving free will to them. So does Bhagavan know that some people will not come to him or many people won't come to him? Yes, he completely knows. But Bhagavan creates. So see, he created due to compassion. And then the samsara happens. It is happening. The end result is that most of them didn't come to him. So he considers that to be a play. What is the end result is that he considered that to be a play, krida. He considered. So now the second part of the question comes. So doesn't it contradict? Like his intention was something, what happened is something else. Okay, Bhagavan's intention was he created these worlds and gave Jeevatma's body, sense organs and all, and he also gave free will so that they may reach him. Now when we bring free will to this equation, what happens is nothing is certain. So Bhagavan, while giving that free will, is himself certain that nothing is certain. There are many possibilities and Bhagavan is aware of all those possibilities. But most of those possibilities, are that most of them will not come. So Bhagavan is completely aware. If you ask Bhagavan, do you want everyone to come to you? He'll say yes. That is what his intention is. But there he says, I want them to come to me through their own free will. They should come to me. I'll do whatever they want. I'll do all those things. But they must decide to come to me. So he is putting the ball in our court. So we need to decide, and he is completely aware of what will happen, what may happen, what are the possibilities. So there is no contradiction. See, Bhagavan, his intention was to give free will through which they may come. When we say that Bhagavan has given free will, he has put the ball in our court, or the Jiva's court. Now it is our decision to come to him or not come to him. So if you ask Bhagavan, they must come to me through their free will. Bhagavan can actually take a sankalpa and bring everyone to himself. But Bhagavan doesn't want to do so. Bhagavan here, he is trying to, leave them alone. He wants them to come to him through their free will. Giving freedom is a great quality. So Bhagavan's intention was very clear. While he gave free will, he has opened up thousands of probabilities. Not thousands. Thousands is a very small word, okay? So innumerable probable situations, out of which many will lead to not many coming to him. Okay, Bhagavan is completely aware of that and he does that. So while you bring in the factor called free will, everything changes. So Bhagavan's intention and what happened was not different. It is not contradictory, but rather they are the same. Because when you give free will to someone, then your intention is clear that they can do anything. And they did something on their own. So Bhagavan's intention and what happened is not contradictory. But if you ask Bhagavan, you can bring all those in a moment to Paramapada. But you have to force them. And you have to take a sankalpa, don't give them free will. Or you give them free will and they will decide what to do. Bhagavan chooses the second option always. And so Bhagavan is quite aware of his intentions. But his wish is that they come to him through their free will.
Swami, Bhagavan is Satya Sankalpa. Swami, why at all bring the free will here? Bhagavan is Satya Sankalpa. In 1 second, he can wish, let them be liberated, and that's it.
Yes, that may happen. That can happen. But Bhagavan doesn't wish that. See, he is Bhagavan. What he wishes happens. He wishes that they just show some inclination towards me. See, sharanagathi, what we explained is such a small thing, right? You just show, Are Bhagavan, I have nothing with me. You have to take care of me. And Bhagavan does everything. So that small thing he is expecting from you. Once one person surrenders, he will take them. So he will liberate them. He is just expecting such a small thing from you. But he is Paramatma, he wishes that. If you are inclined, I will take you. He can liberate everyone, but he is expecting this small thing from you. That is his sankalpa, yes.
Swami, there is another very honest question. The word Gayatri itself is Strilingam. So why women cannot chant Gayatri mantra?
See, in Sanskrit, the words themselves have a gender. Like even in Hindi, you know that the words have gender. In languages like Tamil, Telugu or English, the words don't have gender. Okay? But see, in Sanskrit, the words themselves have a gender. And there are some words like, the synonyms for wife, bharya, patni, sati. So there are some words. There are some words which are in Napunsakalinga, neuter gender, but they denote a wife. A wife is by definition female. Okay. But again, the word is not feminine. So the object and the word need not be in the same gender. There is one word, daraha, again denoting a wife. It is in plural and it is in masculine gender, but it denotes one wife. Okay. So words have their own gender and the objects have their own gender. The word Gayatri may be in Strilinga, but that doesn't mean that it must be chanted by ladies. I just don't understand the logic behind that. Okay. Like the word mantra, that is in masculine gender. So can you say that only men should chant all mantras? So each mantra has its own rules and regulations. There are many mantras that are being chanted by ladies also, like Ashtakshar mantra and all. You have many mantras. You can call Ashtakshari. That becomes Strilinga. You can call it Ashtaksharaha mantraha. It becomes Punlinga. See, so I don't think the gender of the word has something to do with the rules regarding that particular mantra. Okay.
So there are many more questions with us, as well as there are few questions regarding the practical applications of sampradaya in their life. So these questions, if possible, we can make some other session and then there can guide us.
Surely. Even this question answer session took us maybe 2 months, right? After posting that video. We'll try to do that as soon as possible. Another question answer session. But one thing, we asked people to ask many questions in the comment section, and we never expected this kind of reception to that video or this amount of comments. So we were slightly overwhelmed, and that's the reason we couldn't answer most of them in the comment section. And some questions are so complicated that we have to answer it in paragraphs or articles or books, So if we are not answering in our comment section and you are very eager to know the answer, please contact us through the details provided in the description. So if answers are not given in comment section, you can come to those places. Hopefully we'll try to answer them there. We'll also try to answer those questions in the comment section as much as possible, because they are still coming. And so saying that, let's finish this podcast.
So if you have any further questions and follow-up questions, please ask in the comment section. We will be asking Swami for the answers, and we would be answering in the next question and answer session.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Dhanyosmi. Srimate Ramanujacharya.